Join the movement. Go all electric with Pure Electric.
Hi, I'm Jess Hardwick from Jessica Hardwick Architecture, and I'm here to give you an express tour of my family home on the north side of Brisbane. This is our deck, which is a really strong focus on subtropical living, really protective from the west. Here you can see there's a awning that we can operate depending on the time of year. Got a very high quality outdoor fan from Big Ass Fans, and then protective polycarbonate on the high southern part of the deck, which just means we can pull lots of light in but be quite protected from rain. And it means that our deck is usable the vast majority of the year. Here's it from another angle. You can see it's very well protected, and it means we can use it on most rainy days. If it's really howling, obviously it's not where you want to be, but you can also see from this view how our deck sits in relation to the rest of the house. The tiled roof is the original portion of the house, and the deck is the only added space that we've put on. Our home was built in 1959 by the Jensen family, who we purchased the house from. So being the second owners of the home, we're really fortunate. The home was very much intact, hadn't been tinkered with too much over time, and it always can be a really good sign that the home sort of addresses its aspect quite well to begin with. Here's a 3D view, which you can feel free to pause and have a read on, but this is what the house was like originally. One thing I will highlight is we had quite low ceilings downstairs and a massive concrete out the back. This S-shaped wall was a retaining wall that held up this entire area in concrete. It's just very hot. So we've really gone to lengths to reduce the amount of concrete around our house, replacing it with more permeable surfaces such as decomposed granite, and also planting, which has a really great cooling effect and enables better absorption of water into our ground. This is a bit of an overview of our strategic moves and how we've really made the most of the space that we've got here. So feel free to pause on this. And if there's one thing I want you to take away from visiting our place, it's the value that 200 tiny sustainable choices can have as compared to one really unsustainable choice of demolishing your house, and then everything else you do after that point really has hugely diminished benefit. You can build the most sustainable house in the world, high performance everything, but if you've demolished another house to achieve it, you really are on the back foot when it comes to carbon. So that was my commitment here, was to really make the most of the space that we started with. The family before us raised 5 kids here, so I was determined that my husband and I could raise our 2 kids here and live a really good life. Here's our final plan. You can see the deck out the back there. That's the only additional space, as I said, but you'll really see through the before and afters in this presentation how these subtle adjustments have really drastically enhanced the functionality of every part of the house. This is just a little overview of our natural ventilation strategy. If you look back to the existing plan, you'll also note that there are only very small openings through to the backyard. The real benefit of considering your breezes is that you're not then relying on aircon. We've got one split system in the lounge room here, which services our house really adequately throughout the year, and we paired that with really high quality fans, as well as lots of upgrades to insulation, and as I said here, a really great natural ventilation strategy. Here are the before and afters, so you can see these small openings and sort of relatively low quality construction, no insulation in any of the walls, etc. And so we've insulated to the absolute best of our ability here, prioritising outdoor living and flexible design, making the most of the window opening sizes that we had, but then cutting some of them down to just really enhance our ventilation. This one's probably one of the most compelling before and afters, actually, because it's just showing how through the transformation of that interior approach, the same amount of space can feel vastly more comfortable and usable in a contemporary family life. This is a great one too, actually. In the lounge room, we've done really very minimal changes. We've stripped back those old linings and carpets to reveal beautiful high ceilings. The colour scheme's not doing us any favours in our befores. And we've created some very minor adjustments to our openings. You can see there's a little peekaboo there, which gives us visual connection, but also breeze through flow from the kitchen to the living. We've also adjusted some of those doorways just to get more function out of the room, better connection to outdoors, better capacity for ventilation. You can just see the edge of it here, but behind the TV, we've also kept some of the original framing exposed, and that's really as much about ventilation as it is about social connection. You'll see all through the house, we've really tried to use a lot of recycled furniture. Some of it is temporary or short-term plans with a grander vision down the track, and some of it is really beautiful restored furniture. So you'll see there's products from Mid-Mod Oz, Timber Technic, recycled timber pendant light, fully recycled concrete bench top. We've repurposed all of our scraps, well, not all of our scraps, sorry, a lot of our scraps to make some of our little timber features through the house, upgraded our insulation and gone fully electric with all of our appliances, and our hot water is solar. So no gas at all. Some more shots here showing the natural ventilation in action in our kitchen space. Beautiful shelving from an Australian family business. And then our bathroom, I wanted to just highlight because it's really sometimes so much more effective to just have one generous space that ventilates well, that is well lit, and with those separation of the basin, washing and toilet areas, that is ample function for our family of 4. We've got a small toilet downstairs and a laundry downstairs, and it's just a really simple way to live. But yeah, a really satisfying way to live. Our bathroom is especially special because we've reused the bath, and on the side of it you can see Mr. Jensen, and it's just the coolest reminder of a simpler time where Australian-made products were of the highest quality. Can't wait to show you through our house.